Hello everybody, welcome to Restorative Yoga. Today we're going to be working with 2 blankets, 1 bolster and 2 blocks. Now if you're at home and you don't have these props, no worries. For blankets you can use bath towels. For a bolster you can use pillows. I recommend something harder, something that you can rest your body weight on. And then if you don't have blocks you can use boxes, books, Tupperware containers, something that resembles a square shape, and that is hard. Okay, you can go and get your props, and then let's start sitting on a blanket or a bath towel. So take 1 blanket and then have your sitting bones sit at the edge of the blanket. This helps lift your pelvis up higher. So anybody with any lower back soreness or tightness, this position should feel a bit more comfortable. Soften the shoulders out. And then when you're ready, closing your eyes. Allowing the first few moments here to settle into the space. Noticing the sit bones grounding heavy onto the blanket. Noticing your tall spine and its length. Noticing the sensations in your body, the tension or stress you may be holding on to. Noticing the pace of your breath. As we let time go on, can you make your breath even deeper, even longer, and even fuller? Or the breath flows all the way beyond the crown of your head, down your spine and towards your sit bones. And this process continues. Nice, long, smooth breathing. On your next breath, bring the hands to heart center. With a soft inhale to the top of your chest. Exhale, bow your forehead to your heart. Releasing the thinking part of your brain to the deeper wisdom that lies in our hearts. Release the hands to your knees. Slowly lift your chin and then open your eyes. Good. Interlace the fingers, stretch the arms forward, and really reach forward. With the arms forward and the spine tall, lift and lengthen. Inhale, bring the arms over your head for a full stretch, allowing the arms to be straight, allowing the chest to open. Breathing deeply here. Now inhale, stretch up even higher, and then exhale, hinge forward. Fingertips touch the floor, fold forward. So just a gentle fold, starting to feel the outer hips stretch, starting to feel the forehead and the neck hang and rest. Slowly come back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist towards your right. Release the left hand to your right knee. Left hand comes behind you. You can hold the blanket, lift up, and then exhale, turn and twist. back to center, both arms up. Reach up, inhale, exhale, twist towards your left. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Push into the mat to lift, and exhale, twist. Come back to center, reach up, and release. Switch the crossing of your legs. Interlace the other thumb on top, push forward. Lengthen the inner arms well, and then bring the arms over your head. Full stretch. Reach up tall, inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. Hands to the floor, walking forward. Let the forehead, let the neck rest. Let the spine lengthen. Feeling the outer hips start to work a little bit. Slowly come back to center, both arms reach up. Now bring the right hand to the right side beside you. Left arm comes up and over, forward side bend. Breathing deeply into the left side body. Can you stretch the left fingertips more towards the right side? Come back to center and switch. Left hand, left side. Right arm reaches up and over. As you side bend, can you stretch the right side body even more? Right fingertips towards the left. Breathing into the right side body. Come back to center, both arms up, and then both arms down. Very nice. Okay, you can take the blanket out from your seat, and then we're going to come into a restorative downward dog. So, 2 blocks are going to come to the top of your mat. The bolster is going to come on an incline on top of the blocks, like so. Make sure it's stable here. Now 1 blanket will come as your head support. So that's going to go on top of the bolster like this. Have the soft edge facing you. And then for your downward dog, let's frame the hands alongside the bolster. Tuck your toes, pushing back. And you want to rest the forehead heavy on the blanket. Allow your arms and your legs to be straight. Sending a deep, nourishing breath all throughout the body. Taking 3 more rounds of breath here. Allow the breath to be deep, allowing the breath to nourish every single one of your cells, from the inside to the outside, from the crown of your head all the way to the base of your feet, the soles of your feet. Let the breath bring you energy. Let the breath bring you life. Very nice. Slowly bring the knees to the floor. And then sitting up, sitting on your heels. Okay, we're going to keep the setup where it is. Just turn the body around. And then you can bring the feet into a butterfly shape. So butterfly pose is what we're going for. The soles of your feet will touch and the knees will come open. Now, if the sit bones are too heavy on the floor and it's uncomfortable, you can take your second blanket and have it as a seat. So you can unfold that and then you can sit on top of it. Now for restorative, what we don't want is we don't want to feel the stretch. We want the release. And when we release muscles, we don't want any muscular effort. So if you're feeling any stretching or any tensing, I want you to walk the heels forward. So this might mean you have a wider shape, but that's okay, because the shape in itself is going to help you release that tension. So adjust accordingly as you need to, and then keep the spine tall as you drape the spine over the bolster. Rest the head on the blanket. The arms can go by your side with the chest opening up, or they can go over your head, holding opposite elbows, letting the shoulders open a little bit more. You can start to soften the eyelids, soften the whole body, landing the body on the props. In restorative yoga, the postures are not meant to be strenuous. We're not looking for any kind of stretch, but we're looking for time to help heal the body through releasing tension, releasing stress. When you give your body time to just be, stress starts to fade and melt away from the body. And it's even said that the body takes 20 minutes to release just one stressor. So by being here and by resting here, you're giving your body a lot of nourishment. You're calming your nervous system. Although it may not seem like you're doing much, internally your body is doing a lot. So can you allow yourself to be here, to be present with the feelings, to be present with what comes up? Start to bring movement and awareness into your body, moving the fingertips, moving the toes. If your arms are over your head, you can slowly bring them by your side. And then with the help of your hands, you can bring the knees together to touch. And then stretch the legs straight out in front of you into a fish pose. And we'll be here for around 1 minute. As you allow the legs to neutralize, notice how the butterfly shape, the opening and the posture, notice how it felt in your body. Let your breath be deep, let the breath be long, and let the breath be full. Grounding the forearms and the elbows onto the floor, slowly pushing yourself back up. Okay, our last and final posture is going to be constructive rest. So for this pose, you actually don't need that many props. We're just going to use one blanket. So your props you can move to the side. And then have one blanket at the top of your mat, or whichever way you want to face. This is going to be for your head. Okay, now you're going to lie all the way down and then rest the back of your neck on the blanket. Now for your feet, you're going to bend your knees, have the footprints on the floor, and then bring the knees to touch. Now, if this is a lot for your inner thighs to rotate inwards, I suggest you take your extra blanket or your block and you put it in between your thighs. Now, when you're putting props in between your thighs, make sure it's all the way touching your hip bone. So here, and then you bring the knees to touch. Now, what we don't want is we don't want the props to be hanging up here, and we don't want the squeezing to happen. So you see how there's like a squeezing as I'm holding it here? I want the blanket to rest on my hip bone. Then the knees will just gently come together to close that gap. So if you're feeling like this is an option for you, you can take that. Otherwise, allow the shoulder blades to soften onto the floor. Notice how this internal rotation feels like in your body. Your feet, they can go narrower, they can go wider, up to you and how it's feeling in your hips. Allowing the breath to rejuvenate your body. Allowing the breath to nourish each and every single one of your cells with life and energy. And every time you exhale, can you allow yourself to melt into the mat even more? On your next breath, bring yourself back to the space. You can move your fingertips, move your toes. And then stretch the legs straight out in front of you. Fully melting your body into the mat. Resting here in Shavasana for 1 minute. On your next exhale, stretch the legs long. Take the arms over your head for a full stretch. And then bend your knees, hug the knees into your chest. When you are ready, slowly rolling up into a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I hope the practice was restful for you. Have a great day ahead.